Hey folks, welcome back to Make It Good. I'm Jason, and as you can see, the tiny workshop has power, and that's really awesome. In my last video, I wired everything up, but I didn't have the panel breaker for the house that would fit to run power out here. I was able to get that breaker in, put it in, and everything's hooked up. I have lights, I have outlets that work. I don't have to drag extension cords from the house anymore. And sooner or later, most importantly, I can hook up my air conditioner. But that's gonna wait a little bit because today I'm gonna be working on the insulation. I'm going to be putting wall insulation, ceiling insulation up to get this thing as well insulated as possible because it's going to be hot and I want that AC to run nice and efficiently and keep this place comfortable. So we're going to get started on that right now. Okay, I've been clearing stuff out, getting things ready to put the insulation up. As you can see, I've got a long sleeve shirt on, I've got my gloves and my mask so that I can keep myself protected from all the fiberglass fibers. Those things make me itch, they make me cough, and I want to keep them off me as much as I can. So I'm going to get started with the ceiling and then work my way under the walls and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, I've got all of the ceiling insulation up. There's a lot more work than I expected it to be, but it's done. And tomorrow I'm going to start on putting the insulation in the walls. So we'll see you then. Hey, good morning. It's the next day, and today I'm going to be working on putting the insulation in the walls. The ceiling was a little difficult just because I was working over my head a lot. So I'm hoping the walls will go a little easier. There's a lot more to it, so still a lot to do. One thing I have noticed, just having the insulation in the ceiling, it's a lot quieter in here, and it's only going to become more so the more I put up here, and that's kind of nice, both for using this as a wood shop and having noisy machinery and everything, but also doing some filming for you guys, so less ambient noise and everything. So I am pleasantly surprised on how much difference this has made so far. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on these walls. Follow along.
All right, all of the insulation is in the walls, in the ceiling. I'm done with insulation, and that's a awesome thing. I really cut it close there. I bought just enough, and I had to start using scraps at the end, but I got everything insulated. Just doesn't look real pretty, but that's okay. It's gonna be behind wallboard anyway. So I have one more thing I'm gonna do before I call this. I'm going to be putting in some protection plates for the wires. So these are going to go onto the studs themselves where the wires are going through, so that in the future when I'm drilling into these walls, I don't drill in and hit wires, because that would be a bad thing. So I'm going to put those in. I've marked all of the places where my wires go through the studs, and I'm going to just put those on real quick, and then we'll call it done. Okay, the insulation's all done. The wire protectors are on the studs. And the next step in here is going to be doing the wall board, which is going to tie everything together and basically make the interior finished. And then all I'll really have to do on this thing is finish up the outside with the painting and some of the trim, caulking, that kind of stuff. And we're getting really close on this thing. That's exciting. So appreciate you following along. If you like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, and once I get done with this shop, more is going to be building furniture, welding projects, all sorts of stuff. So I want y'all to stick around. Subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when I post new videos. I appreciate each and every one of you following along. Y'all get out there and make it good. Thanks a lot.